press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back to the video classes. Today let us move on to part 2 of amines. In the previous class we discussed about what are amines, what are the importance of amines and naming of amines, common name and the IUPAC name. So let us move on to the examples for naming of amines. I have given few examples here. Let us give common name and the IUPAC name. So as I said, in common name we need to take the name of the alkyl group followed by the word amine. Therefore it is methyl group. This is methylamine, correct? And in IUPAC name, so name of the alkane and the terminal E is replaced by the word amine and hence the name is methanamine. And here it is ethylamine, the alkyl group is ethyl and the IUPAC name is ethanamine. IUPAC name is ethanamine. Okay. Now the third one is propyl group is there, N-propyl group is there, therefore it is N-propylamine. It is N-propylamine and the IUPAC name is propaneamine. So IUPAC name is propaneamine. And what about this? This is isopropyl group, therefore it is isopropylamine. Isopropylamine. So and here we need to give, this is not secondary amine, this is primary amine itself, NH2, but it is attached to the branching. So therefore give the IUPAC name 1, 2, 3, propane 2 amine. What is the name? Propane 2 amine. And the second carbon amino group is there, therefore propane 2 amine. So here this forms the position isomers. So amino groups, here it is at the first carbon and here it is on the second carbon. So these two are nothing but the position isomers. Note on this. And the next one is unsaturation is there and this group is vinyl group and this is allyl group and hence you can give the name vinylamine. This is vinylamine. And what is the IUPAC name? 1, 2, that is ethenamine. Ethenamine. So the position of double bond and the amino group is on the same carbon, that is on the first carbon. Just I ignored the locant 1 here, therefore ethenamine. But here we need to start it from here 1, 2, 3. We need to give the preference for amino group, therefore position of double bond is on the second carbon. Therefore this is allyl amine. Allyl group is there, this is allyl amine and the name is prop 2-in-1 amine, or you can write it as prop 2-enamine. Prop 2-enamine is the IUPAC name of this compound. So these are about the primary aliphatic amines. Now let us move on to the secondary amines. Secondary amines. Seventh one, CH3, NHCH3. Eighth one, CH3, NH, C2H5 and CH3, NH, C2H5, C2H5, NH, C2H5 and 10th one. Let us move on to the tertiary amine. CH3N, CH3, CH3. 11th one, CH3N, C2H5, CH3. So these are secondary and tertiary amines. Just to look at the functional groups, NH imino group and tertiary nitrogen, that is tertiary amine. So these three are secondary amine and these are tertiary amines. While naming the secondary and tertiary amine, we need to give the name of the alkyl group, and if the alkyl groups are different, we had to give the name as alphabetical order. We need to arrange the alkyl groups in alphabetical order. So here 2 methyl groups are there, therefore it is dimethyl amine, correct? And you had to select one of the alkyl groups as a prefix here, and that should be smaller one, and then another alkyl group as a root word. Since here both the alkyl groups are same, you had to name it as N-methyl methanamine. N-methyl methanamine, one alkyl group, that is N-methyl methanamine. But here two different alkyl groups are there, methyl and the ethyl. We need to arrange them in alphabetical order. Ethyl, methyl, amine, ethyl, methyl, amine, okay? And one group we have to consider it as a root prefix, another one should be root word. Since methyl is smaller, we need to take it as a prefix. Therefore N-methyl ethanamine, N-methyl ethanamine. N-methyl ethanamine is the IUPAC name. Now here two groups are ethyl groups, therefore diethyl amine, diethyl amine, and N-ethyl ethanamine. N-ethyl ethanamine is the IUPAC name. N-ethyl ethanamine is the IUPAC name. Okay. Now here 3 methyl groups are there. This is tertiary amine. Tertiary amine, this is the functional group, imino group, and this is tertiary nitrogen. All the hydrogen atoms are replaced by the alkyl group here. 3 methyl groups are there. Therefore it is trimethyl amine. Trimethyl amine. So in the IUPAC name, you had to take 2 alkyl groups as the prefix. Since the 3 are same here, you can take N-methyl, N-methyl. Instead of writing N-methyl, N-methyl, you can write it as N, N dimethyl. And you had to take 1 methyl group as root word. Therefore, N-methyl, N, N dimethyl methanamine. N, N dimethyl methanamine. N, N dimethyl methanamine. And here we have 2 methyl groups and 1 ethyl group, and we need to arrange them in alphabetical order. Ethyl, dimethyl amine. Ethyl, dimethyl amine is the common name. While going with the IUPAC name, you had to take the smaller alkyl group as a prefix. Therefore N-methyl, N-methyl. Ethyl is with a more number of carbon. You need to take it as a root word. Therefore N, N dimethyl ethanamine. So N, N dimethyl ethanamine. N, N dimethyl ethanamine is the IUPAC name. Okay. Now let us move on to few more examples, and then aromatic amines. Let us consider aromatic amines. Note down this IUPAC name, formula, and the common name. Let us move on to 12th one. CH3 N C2H5 C3H7. So we can write C3H7 like this. CH2, CH2, CH3. 13th, CH3, NCH3, and here CH, CH3, CH2, CH3. 14th, I'll take aromatic here, aromatic, NH2. 15th, NH2, CH3, like this. Now, in case of tertiary, we have 3 different groups here: methyl, ethyl, and N-propyl. We need to arrange them in alphabetical order: ethyl, methyl, N-propyl, amine. Ethyl, methyl, N-propyl, amine. Ethyl, methyl, N-propyl, amine is the common name. While going with the IUPAC name, you have to take 2 groups as a prefix, which are smaller groups, and here ethyl and the methyl groups are smaller compared to that of propyl. Therefore, propanamine is the root word. Propane 1-amine, because on the first carbon only the nitrogen of amino group is attached. Therefore, propane 1-amine, but it is prefixed with N-ethyl, N-methyl. We need to give in the alphabetical order: N-ethyl, N-methyl, propanamine. N-ethyl, N-methyl, propane 1-amine. Actually, it is 1-amine because the position of the functional group is on the first carbon. Okay. Now, look at here: methyl group, and what about this? Butyl group. What type of butyl? Isobutyl. Therefore, isobutyl, secondary butyl, dimethyl amine. What is this group? Secondary butyl, because carbon chain is not branched. CH3, CH, CH2, CH3. This carbon is secondary. To the secondary carbon, amino group is attached. Again, it is branched with the methyl group. Therefore, secondary butyl. I have not considered this prefix while arranging in the alphabetical order. We need to consider only iso and neo, not the secondary and the tertiary. So, I have to consider the first letter of the name of the alkyl group, that is B. Therefore, secondary butyl dimethyl amine. Secondary butyl dimethyl amine. Now, what is the IUPAC name? N-methyl, N-methyl. That is N, dimethyl. So, butanamine, but in butane 1, 2, 3, 4. On the second carbon, amino group is attached. Therefore, N, dimethyl butane 2-amine. Butane 2-amine is the IUPAC name. Clear? Now, let us move on to the aromatic. So, NH2 group is attached, and you know the common name, it is aniline, and all you have to give the substituted aniline here. It may be primary or the secondary or the tertiary. Root word will be aniline, and you can retain aniline here, or you can use benzenamine. So, benzenamine is the IUPAC name. Benzenamine is the IUPAC name. Okay. Now, here what is the name? Aniline is get substituted with methyl group. What is the position of methyl group? Ortho position. Therefore, orthomethyl aniline. Orthomethyl aniline, or you can name it as orthotolidine. It's very important. Orthotolidine. When methyl group is on the ortho position, orthotolidine. Meta position, metatolidine. If it is on the para position, paratolidine. And common name is orthomethyl aniline. Then what is the position? 1, 2. So here you can write it as 2-methyl benzenamine, benzenamine, or you can give 2-methyl aniline. You can retain the root word aniline here, or else you can write benzenamine, okay, and that is the IUPAC name. Now let us move on to secondary and tertiary now. Aromatic amines. Let us move on to the 16th one. NH2 Br. 17th. Let me give secondary here. NH CH3, and tertiary CH3. So one more, N C2H5 CH3. So these are the tertiary and the secondary aromatic amines. So here in this case it is to the para position we have bromo group, therefore para bromo aniline, and here 4-bromo benzenamine. So the IUPAC name is 4-bromo benzenamine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Para position is 1, 4. So therefore 4-bromo benzenamine, or else you can write 4-bromo aniline itself. And this is secondary amine. N-methyl aniline, substituted aniline. What substituted? That is N-methyl aniline. In place of aniline you have to write benzenamine, that is N-methyl benzenamine. N-methyl benzenamine. N-methyl benzenamine is the IUPAC name. Okay. Now, so move on to this one, tertiary amine, that is 2 methyl groups are attached. N-methyl aniline. Instead of writing N-methyl, you can write it as N, N dimethyl aniline. And here also N, N dimethyl. In place of aniline you have to write benzenamine. You have to write benzenamine. N, N dimethyl aniline. In place of aniline you have to write N, N dimethyl benzenamine. This is tertiary aromatic amine. And how to name this? Here 2 substituents, alkyl groups are different here. You have to arrange them in alphabetical order. N-ethyl, N-methyl aniline. So what is the name? N-ethyl, N-methyl aniline. And here N-ethyl, N-methyl benzenamine. Instead of aniline you have to use benzenamine, that is the IUPAC name. Now let us move on to diamines. Move on to the diamines here. Few more examples. That is NH2, CH2, CH2, NH2, and here CH2 6 times, NH2, NH2. So this is the IUPAC name, and the common name we need to give diamines. What is this diamine? Dimethylene diamine. So dimethylene. So dimethylene, methylene groups, therefore it is dimethylene diamine. CH2 group is called methylene group, therefore dimethylene diamine. And you know that it is ethane. For ethane, two NH2 groups are attached, therefore ethane 1, 2 diamine. Ethane is the root word. On first and second carbon, amino group is attached, therefore it is ethane 1, 2 diamine. And here CH2 6 times. 6 times means you can write like this: CH2, 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 NH2. This is NH2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So hexamethylene. So there are 6 methylene groups. Therefore it is hexamethylene diamine. Hexamethylene diamine. You have to remember this compound, and this is very important for the preparation of a polymer called nylon 6,6. Nylon 6,6 and nylon 6. Hexamethylene diamine. It is also diamine. And what is the IUPAC name that you can write here? Hexane. Hexane 1, 6 diamine. Hexane 1, 6 diamine is the IUPAC name, hexane. If you leave the hyphen means you can retain the terminally hexane 1, 6 diamine is the IUPAC name of hexamethylene diamine. And this is about the nomenclature of amines, common name and the IUPAC name. Okay, now let us move on to the methods of preparation. Methods of preparation. So before going to methods of preparation, let me give the isomerism in amines. Isomerism. What type of isomerism given by these amines? So amines give chain isomerism. Chain isomerism. So here CH3, CH2, 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 NH2, CH3, CH3, CH2, NH2. What is the name? N-butyl amine, isobutyl amine. Here the carbon chain is branched. Thus it gives chain isomerism with 4 carbon atoms. So amines containing 4 and more than 4 carbon atoms exhibit chain isomerism. Example, N-butylamine, isobutyl amine. Second one, it also exhibit position isomerism. Position isomerism. Position isomerism, CH3, CH2, CH2, NH2, CH3, CHNH2, CH3. Here propane 1 amine, propane 2 amine. Therefore, with 3 carbon atoms or more than 3 carbon atoms, it exhibits position isomerism. So it also exhibits position isomerism with 3 or more than 3 carbon atoms. Okay. Now third one, functional isomerism. Functional isomerism. Yes, it exhibits functional isomerism because there are three functional groups in amines: primary amino group, secondary amino group and tertiary amino group, that is tertiary nitrogen. Thus, it exhibits the functional isomerism. I will give the example here: CH3, CH2, 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 NH2. Okay, now with this formula you can write CH3, NH, CH2, CH3. You can reduce one carbon here, propanamine, okay, then CH3, N, CH3, CH3. Functional group here is amino, imino and it is tertiary nitrogen. Primary, secondary, tertiary. So with 3 or more than 3 carbon atoms, it exhibits the functional isomerism also. Primary amino group, secondary amino group and tertiary nitrogen. So functional groups are different and thus they exhibit functional isomerism. Primary, secondary, tertiary amines itself is functional isomers here and they give functional isomerism with 3 carbon atoms. So 3 or more than 3 carbon atoms. And again, so here you can consider CH3, CH2, NH, CH2, CH3, CH3, NH, CH2, CH2, CH3, CH3, NH, CH, CH3, CH3. So look at these isomers. The functional group is secondary amino group. So because it is a non-terminal functional group, secondary and tertiary are non-terminal functional groups, and the alkyl group arranged on either sides of this group is different. Here 2 ethyl groups, here methyl and propyl group, and here methyl and isopropyl. What type of isomerism then? So they also exhibit what? Metamerism. So fourth one, they also exhibit metamerism. Metamerism. So what is the formula here? C4, 1, 2, 3, 4, H11, N. So C4H11N exhibit metamerism. What type of amines exhibit metamerism? Secondary and tertiary amines exhibit metamerism with 4 carbon atoms or more than 4 carbon atoms. For secondary with 4 carbon atoms, they exhibit metamerism. What do you mean by metamerism? Arrangement of the alkyl groups on either sides of the functional group are different. Okay, so that is about the isomerism exhibited by the amines. So they exhibit structural isomerism, but they do not exhibit geometrical isomerism, but they give enantiomerism if there is a chiral center. If there is a chiral center, definitely they exhibit the enantiomerism also, that is optical isomerism. Best example you can give, butane 2-amine. Butane 2-amine can exhibit the enantiomerism. Okay, so with this is about the isomerism of amines, primary, secondary and the tertiary amines. Okay, now let us move on to the methods of preparation. let us move on to methods of preparation. Methods of preparation. So, how to prepare the amines? So, mainly there are methods to prepare primary amines. Commonly we can easily prepare primary amines compared to that of secondary and the tertiary amines. Let me give one by one. The first method is by the reduction of nitro compounds. So, the first method is by the reduction of nitro compounds. What do you mean by nitro compounds? Nitro group is attached to alkyl or the aryl group. Then they are called nitro compounds. Nitrobenzene, nitromethane, nitroethane, like that. So, in general you can take RNO2, nitro compound. It is nitroalkane. So, it may be alkyl group or it may be aryl group. As I have given a heading reduction, so this undergoes reduction in presence of. So, you can take the reducing agent here, mainly the metal in presence of acidic medium. So, metal you can take iron or the tin. In acidic medium you can take HCl as a acidic medium. So, that you can take tin in HCl, or else you can take iron in HCl. Even you can take commonly used reducing agent is lithium aluminum hydride. So, under this condition, under the presence of these reducing agent, either by using metal in acidic medium or by using a common reducing agent lithium aluminum hydride, you can reduce the nitroalkanes to respective amines. Oxygen gets reduced to H2 here, and that oxygen gets converted to water. So, the nascent hydrogen reduces here, and RNO2 gets converted to RNH2. You know that it is primary amine. Oxygen gets reduced to the water. So, you will get water because 2 oxygen atom, you will get 2 molecules of water. So, how many hydrogen required? 2 plus 4, 6 moles of nascent hydrogen is required. So, this is the one method of reduction of nitroalkane to primary amine. Or else we can go for catalytic hydrogenation of nitroalkane also. What do you mean by catalytic hydrogenation? Catalytic hydrogenation means we have to pass hydrogen gas through this nitro compounds. So, in presence of nickel as a catalyst, even you can take platinum as a catalyst, and nickel catalyst is Raney nickel. Raney nickel means finely divided nickel. Okay. So, by passing hydrogen gas through this nitro compound, it undergoes catalytic hydrogenation and it results in the formation of primary amine with the formation of water. So, it also gives primary amine. Okay. Then how many moles of hydrogen required? 3 moles. Then what is the difference of reduction and the catalytic hydrogenation? In the reduction we need to use the nascent hydrogen, where we are using the reducing agent, and here we are passing hydrogen gas through the nitro compound. Okay. Here we are using molecular hydrogen, and this is reduction. And this is also reduction, but usually it is called catalytic hydrogenation. Catalytic hydrogenation. One of the methods of reduction is also catalytic hydrogenation. So, let me give the example here. Example, consider nitromethane. Nitromethane, when it undergoes reduction in presence of iron, that is in presence of HCl, which is used as a reducing agent, 6 moles of hydrogen it requires, and you will get methylamine. It is a primary amine with the formation of 2 moles of water. So nitromethane, what is the name it is? Nitromethane is gets reduced to methylamine. Methylamine. So this is the method which is used to prepare only primary amines. This is the method used to prepare primary amines. Okay. So nitroalkanes are gets converted to alkyl amines, primary amines. So you can take ethyl group, propyl group. So by changing the alkyl group, you will get a different primary amines. Even you can prepare aromatic amines here. What is this compound? Nitrobenzene. Nitrobenzene. It also undergoes reduction or the catalytic hydrogenation you can take in presence of nickel as a catalyst. What you get? You will get C6H5NH2 with the formation of 2 moles of H2O, and it is aniline. It is aniline. So nitrobenzene is reduced to aniline by catalytic hydrogenation, by passing hydrogen gas through nitrobenzene in presence of finely divided nickel as a catalyst, Raney-nickel. So one thing here, the reduction here, the reduction with iron in presence of HCl, reduction in presence of iron in HCl is preferred for the reduction of nitroalkanes or the nitroarenes. So reduction with iron in presence of HCl is preferred. Why it is preferred? So among these reducing agent, this reducing agent is preferred because we can use scrap iron in presence of HCl. Scrap iron means it is the value of that iron is very less. Scrap iron is the waste iron you can use here in presence of HCl. When you use scrap iron in presence of HCl, during a reaction it forms ferrous chloride. During this reduction it forms ferrous chloride. The scrap iron, the waste iron forms ferrous chloride, and this ferrous chloride get hydrolyzed to liberate HCl. When it gets hydrolyzed, it liberates HCl. So the further reaction takes place in the presence of this HCl. So this HCl is used for the further reaction. Therefore, very little amount of HCl can be used in order to start the reaction. So reaction start ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ very minimum HCl na use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು, because further during the reaction ferrous chloride so formed is hydrolyzed and to liberate HCl, and that HCl is utilized during the further reaction. Further reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ so formed HCl na ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, utilize ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Therefore very small amount of HCl is sufficient in order to start the reaction. Therefore the reduction by using scrap iron in HCl is preferred for the reduction of nitro compounds. Okay, now let us move on to the second method. So second method is nothing but second one, ammonolysis of alkyl halides. Ammonolysis of alkyl halides. Alkyl halides, what are alkyl halides? RX, correct? Alkyl halides are RX. And even you can use benzyl halides, C6H5CH2X. But we cannot use aryl halides here. Remember, we can use alkyl halides and the benzyl halides. We cannot use aryl halides. The reason for that is alkyl halides and benzyl halides are easily undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction because cleavage of CX bond in alkyl halide, cleavage of CX bond in benzyl halide is very easy. They easily undergo cleavage and it easily leaves the nucleophile halide ion. So, these two are the compounds which readily undergo nucleophilic substitution, but aryl halides do not undergo nucleophilic substitution. They undergo nucleophilic substitution only under drastic condition. You know the reason, due to the double bond character of carbon to halogen bond. Okay, the cleavage of the bond CX bond is difficult in case of aryl halides, therefore they do not undergo easily the nucleophilic substitution reactions. So, on the basis of this ammonolysis, you can say it is nothing but a nucleophilic substitution reaction that you have studied in haloalkanes and haloarenes. Alkylation of ammonia takes place, one of the important properties of alkyl halides. Now, let us move on to the reaction. What happens in a reaction? Alkyl halide, let me take alkyl halide. Alkyl halide, when it reacts with alcoholic ammonia, this is alcoholic ammonia. When the mixture is heated to about 100 degrees centigrade, that is 373 Kelvin in a sealed tube. So, this is the reaction condition. When alkyl halide is heated at 373 Kelvin in a sealed tube with alcoholic ammonia, what happens? This is a nucleophile, you know that it is nothing but a neutral nucleophile, correct? It attacks the alkyl group and this changes to, or this bond shifts on the halogen. Then what you get? N. So, since it loses a electron pair, it becomes ammonium and this is X minus, and you can say it is ammonium salt. First it forms ammonium salt. So, from ammonium salt we had to remove the amine. So, this is NH2, NH2 X minus. So, this is ammonium salt. We need to take, or we need to separate free amine from this ammonium salt. So, how to remove free amine from ammonium salt? So, how to remove free amine? So, when RNH2 plus X minus, when it is treated with a strong base such as an sodium hydroxide, it gives out a free amine, that is primary amine, with the formation of sodium halide and water. So, this is the reaction called ammonolysis of alkyl halide. So, further reaction is there. This is the one method of, this is the first step in the ammonolysis. What happens when alkyl halide is heated with alcoholic ammonia at 373 Kelvin in a sealed tube? First it forms ammonium salt. So, the free amine is removed from the ammonium salt by treating it with a strong base. Ammonium salt, when it is treated with a strong base, it gives out a primary amine. Again, primary amine is also a nucleophile. Again, it is a nucleophile as the nitrogen containing lone pair of electron. Again, it reacts with the alkyl halide and the reaction continues, so that the successive replacement of the hydrogen atom of ammonia by alkyl group takes place. You can also call it as alkylation. You can also call it as alkylation. When the successive replacement of hydrogen atoms of ammonia by alkyl group takes place, you will get primary amine, secondary amine and the tertiary amine. Even you will get the quaternary ammonium salt. This is the first step. In a first step, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ is replaced by alkyl group. This is the first step in ammonolysis. The reaction continues like this. Again the primary amine acts as a nucleophile. Again it reacts with one more molecule of alkyl halide and you will get a secondary amine, tertiary amine and the quaternary ammonium salt. See here, this acts as a nucleophile now. Okay, now again it reacts with one more molecule of alkyl halide. So one more molecule of alkyl halide. With the elimination of HX, you will get R2NH. So this is secondary amine. You can write like this, RNHR. This is secondary amine, correct? And again it acts as a nucleophile due to the presence of lone pair of electron. Again it reacts with one more alkyl halide. With the elimination of HX, you will get RNRR. So this is nothing but tertiary amine. Tertiary amine. Again this acts as a nucleophile because it again containing a lone pair of electron. Again one more alkyl halide reacts here and it gives R4N plus X minus and this is quaternary salt. Quaternary salt. So you will get quaternary salt. See here, so primary amine is a nucleophile. It attacks this and this displaces here. Again it attacks on the alkyl group and the cleavage of the bond takes place, and again this attacks on this and the cleavage of the bond takes place. Why the reaction is called ammonolysis? Because here the cleavage of the CX bond takes place. Cleavage of the CX bond takes place by the influence of ammonia, by the attack of ammonia. So the cleavage, the process of cleavage of CX bond of alkyl halide or the benzyl halide takes place by ammonia. Hence it is called ammonolysis. Lysis means cleavage. Cleavage of which bond? CX bond under the influence of ammonia. So therefore it is called ammonolysis of alkyl halide. Here also the lone pair of electrons of this cleaves the CX bond here and it gives secondary amine, tertiary amine and the quaternary ammonium salt. So this is about the ammonolysis of alkyl halide. Remember the process of cleavage of CX bond of alkyl halide or the benzyl halide by ammonia, and that process is called ammonolysis. And here ammonia acts as a nucleophile and the first product primary amine that also acts as a nucleophile. Therefore this is an example for nucleophilic substitution reaction. It is nothing but a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Therefore we can prepare primary, secondary, tertiary aliphatic amines, or we can use even the benzyl halides for the reaction but not the aryl halides. They are difficult to undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. So we can prepare primary, secondary and the tertiary amine. What is the disadvantage of this method is, so we will get a mixture of amines which containing primary, secondary, tertiary amine including the quaternary salt. So because of that reason it is very difficult to separate the individual amines here. So that is the disadvantage of this method, and here we are using alkyl halides. So then what is the order of reactivity of alkyl halide towards ammonolysis? Iodides are more reactive, then bromides, then chlorides. So especially iodides are highly reactive towards ammonolysis. You know the reason, Ci bond is weak compared to that of CBr compared to that of CCl. So why C carbon to iodine bond is weak? Because of the increase in the size of iodine. Increase in the size, as the size of the halogen atom increases, bond length increases, bond strength decreases. So Ci bond is weak, therefore it readily undergoes cleavage and the nucleophilic substitution is easier. Therefore iodides are highly reactive compared to that of bromides and the chlorides. Okay. Now let me give the example for this. Take down the example. Example for ammonolysis. example for aminolysis. So let me take methyl iodide when it reacts with ammonia. So write on the example, NH3 reacts with methyl iodide. With the elimination of hydrogen iodide, it gives methylamine. Further, it undergoes reaction with one more molecule of methyl iodide. With the elimination of hydrogen iodide, you will get dimethylamine. This is secondary amine, and again it reacts with one more molecule of methyl iodide. With the elimination of hydrogen iodide, you will get trimethylamine. This is trimethylamine. Again it reacts with one more molecule of methyl iodide. With the elimination of hydrogen iodide, you will get CH3 4 times N plus I minus. So what is this? Methyl amine. This is primary, and it is dimethylamine. Dimethylamine. It is secondary. This is trimethylamine. Trimethylamine. This is tertiary, primary, secondary, and the tertiary. And this is tetramethyl ammonium iodide, and it is a quaternary salt, Okay, so this is about the second method to prepare amines, but the disadvantage of this method is you will get a mixture of primary, secondary, tertiary amines along with the quaternary ammonium salt. So, and it is very difficult to separate the individual amines. Okay, and this process is nothing but ammonolysis. Why this reaction is called ammonolysis? Because this involves the cleavage of CX bond of the alkyl halide by ammonia. Hence, it is called ammonolysis, and it is an example for nucleophilic substitution reactions. Okay, so now let us move on to the third method of preparation of amines. So let us move on to the third method. So third method is from nitriles. What are nitriles? Which containing cyanides, CN group. So generally the common name for the group which containing CN are called cyanides, and the IUPAC name is nitriles. So third method is reduction of, by the reduction of nitriles. Reduction of nitriles, or you can call it as cyanides. By the reduction of cyanides or by the reduction of nitriles. Then what is the general formula? RC triple bond N. When it undergoes reduction in presence of either lithium aluminium hydride. So this is the common reducing agent where you can use it as a reducing agent for the reduction of nitro compounds or any other compound. So here for cyanides also you can use lithium aluminium hydride as a reducing agent. So or else even you can go with catalytic hydrogenation, that is passing hydrogen gas in presence of ranite nickel. You can go for catalytic hydrogenation. And the third one Even you can use sodium metal, that is sodium, and even you can use mercury in presence of ethanol. In presence of ethanol. So either you can use lithium aluminum hydride as a reducing agent, or else you can go for catalytic hydrogenation. Even you can use sodium in ethanol. So Mendius reduction that you heard. So the same reducing agent also you can use, metal in presence of alcohol, so that it undergoes reduction in presence of nascent hydrogen. Carbon is reduced to CH2 and nitrogen is reduced to NH2. So 2 hydrogen atoms is added to here, another 2 hydrogen atoms to nitrogen as it containing 2 pi bonds, 1 and 1, and here 1 hydrogen, another hydrogen. Total moles of hydrogen required is 4 here. So what you get are CH2 NH2, that you will get primary amine. So CN is reduced to CH2NH2. So this is a method to prepare aliphatic and aromatic primary amines. If R is alkyl group, you will get aliphatic amine. If R is aryl group, then you will get aromatic amine. So take the example. Take down methyl cyanide. When it undergoes reduction in presence of lithium aluminum hydride, what you get? CH3 CH2 NH2, that is ethanamine or ethyl amine. Methyl cyanide is reduced to ethyl amine. See here, cyanide containing 1 carbon in the alkyl branch or the alkyl chain. When it is get reduced, 1 more carbon atom is added to the alkyl chain, that it becomes ethyl amine. Since it involves increase in the number of carbon atom by 1 unit after the formation of amine, this reaction involves ascent of series. Ascent of series. So this reaction involves ascent of series. After the reduction, 1 more carbon is added to the alkyl group of the amine. Therefore, it is involves ascent of series. Now, second example, if you take phenyl cyanide, when it undergoes reduction, so it is phenyl cyanide undergoes reduction in presence of sodium in alcohol, what you get? C6H5 CH2NH2. Should not write here C6H5NH2 directly. You need to reduce the carbon atom of the cyanide group to CH2 here. Then you will get benzyl amine. Benzyl amine. Aryl cyanide gets reduced to or alkyl amine. Aryl cyanide gets reduced to or alkyl amine by using sodium in ethanol as a reducing agent. So all these involves the ascent of series, increase in the number of carbon atom by 1 unit after the reduction. So this is about the reduction of nitriles. Nitriles are nothing but cyanides. How to get cyanides or how to get nitriles here? So as you know that when alkyl halides reacts with alcoholic solution of potassium cyanide, you will get respective alkyl cyanide with the formation of potassium halide. So this is the method of preparation of respective nitriles from the alkyl halides, and you know that this is also an example for nucleophilic substitution reaction of alkyl halide. When alkyl halides reacts with potassium cyanide, you will get respective cyanide. That is also an example for nucleophilic substitution reaction. And this is the third method for the preparation of respective amines. And here you can prepare both aliphatic and aromatic primary amines, not the secondary and the tertiary. You can prepare primary aliphatic and primary aromatic amines, okay, aryl amines. So this is the third method by the reduction of nitriles. You can also call it as cyanides, and this reaction involves ascent of series, okay. And in the next class, let us consider few more methods for the preparation of amines, okay. Thank you.